Buying a business with no money down is challenging, but not impossible. Typically, the seller will want to have 100% of the purchase price on completion, so the day that you buy the business. On the other hand, the buyer, like yourself, will want to delay payment as much as possible. So in this video, we will discuss how to buy a business with no money down here in the UK in a way that makes both the seller and the buyer happy. If you're new, let me very quickly introduce myself. I'm Malcolm Zoppi, an English qualified solicitor and the managing director of Gaffney Zoppi, my law firm. And on YouTube, my goal is to make business law and acquisitions easy. Make sure to stay until the end of the video to find out how to create a group structure when looking to buy businesses. I put seller financing as option number one because, in my opinion, it is the best option for the buyer, although at the same time it is the worst option for the seller. Seller financing is when the seller gives, in a way, a loan to the buyer to buy the seller's business. It can be recognized as a loan because the buyer takes over the business, maybe even with no money down, and then owes money to the seller, which is paid after the business has been taken over. In this scenario, it is not uncommon for the seller to ask the buyer to give a personal guarantee, especially if the buyer is buying the business as a limited company. So they set up a special purpose vehicle to buy the shares in that company. The advantage with seller financing is that you, as the buyer, do not need to approach any banks and don't need to usually pay interest towards that purchase price. The second option that a buyer has at its disposal is to make use of asset leveraged financing, also known as asset financing. And that is when the buyer gets a loan from a third party, for example, a bank, and that loan is secured against an asset of the target business. The most straightforward example of asset leveraged financing is when you, as the buyer, get a mortgage that is secured against the premises, the real estate of the target business. The advantage with this kind of financing is that the assets that you're putting up for security against that loan don't actually need to be owned by you at the time of you looking to take out that loan. So you don't need to put up your own house as collateral or your car, and instead you use the assets of the target business. Now, before we move on to discussing the third and last option, make sure to subscribe to my channel to continue to receive pragmatic, to the point, and practical legal information. Also, if you want professional legal advice on your business acquisition, make sure to reach out. My details are linked below. Great, so the third option is invoice financing. And that is when you, as the buyer, get a loan, again from a third party like a bank, and that loan is secured against the outstanding invoices of the target business. So in this case, let's suppose that the target business has sent out invoices for £100,000 to its customers, and those invoices haven't been paid yet. You, as the buyer, can use those outstanding invoices or unpaid invoices as security against a loan to be given to you to buy that business. As an expert tip, I would advise all potential buyers to not solely rely on invoice financing for the entire purchase price, because invoice financing fluctuates. So there might come the day that you're supposed to be buying that business and some of the invoices might have been paid by the customers to the target business. And that means that the bank who is going to release the money at the last minute is going to give you less money than you might need. And that might jeopardize the deal. For further information on how to structure your deal, make sure to download the free guide linked in the description below. Now, before you go ahead and buy that business, make sure to watch this video that will tell you exactly how to structure your group of companies to minimize your risks. Watch it right here. Thanks for watching.